entertainment, news, politics. Anything you want to talk about, that's what we're here for. This is ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. Now here's your host, from the underground. This is Zachary Lee.
And hey guys, it's Zachary Lee here. Sorry about that. I'm having a little difficulty with my recordings and stuff. But anyway, I know it's been a while. This is episode 6 of ShowDown Radio Show with your host Zachary Lee. Excuse me, got a little. Can't really talk right now because I was at Busch Gardens, Virginia last night. Went on a bunch of roller coasters, screamed my head off. And then you go through some of these haunted houses and stuff. But yeah, good times. Enjoyed my life. Might as well, right? Anyway, I know it's been a while since I had a program. I mean, it's been, like 3.5 weeks? Sorry. I apologize for that. Wolf kind of took me to where I was not able to make any more recordings. So, we're back, and I didn't really think of what I'm going to talk about today, but I figured, might as well go on see what's going on within the world of politics, right? According to a poll in CBS, about 3 hours, it says, just a minute, I need this to load. Oh yeah, we'll come back to that here in a minute, but yeah. While we get back, while that's loading, I know y'all wondering about my new theme music and stuff. Well, the intro was a little messed up, and the new music I'm testing, so I'm going to be testing a variety of different sounds through the next coming week. So whenever I do another episode, also on top of that, it's going to take me a while to work on my new show because things aren't working out as I planned. And I might be changing the name of this show to the Zachary Lee Erickson Show, or Zachary Lee Show, whatever, until I can get my foot in the ground and everything, But right now, I'll just keep it a ShowDown Radio Show. And alright, think of my. Alright, cool. Sorry. Alright, so according to for the 2016 presidential elections, a CBS poll is Trump and Carlson both top 20%. Let's see what it says here. See, Donald Trump still leads in the new national poll with 27%, and Ben Carson follows at 21%. Ted Cruz is third in the CBS poll at 9%. Marco Rubio is 8%. Jeb Bush 6%. Carly Fiorina 6%. And apparently no other candidates finished with more than 5%. So, okay. And Trump and Carson both had an interview with Face the Nation on CBS. They said the voters are responding to their messages. Okay, that's cool. So, that's good. So, let's see, what else do we have in the 2016 elections. Probably going to talk about this for a little bit and then go on to some other stuff. There's also a poll that has Trump leading the swing states of Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Let's see how they're doing with that. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm having a lot of issues with my setup right now. In Florida, Trump leads with 28%. Ben Carson is 16. In Ohio, it's 23 for Trump, 18 for Carson. And Pennsylvania is 23 for Trump and 17 for Carson. Donald Trump and Ben Carson are now pretty much neck and neck. So, okay. Alright, so right now we have Trump and Carson neck and neck, running the lead. I'm really just reading some stuff right now. But, just giving you a heads up on that. Oh, I'm still working on trying to stay with like 1 or 2 topics for a show. I know I'm going to be jumping around stuff, so I apologize for that. But, I promise to get better. I've been trying that, and I think I have, but just leave me in comments if you think I need whatever there is I need to fix or whatever. It's fine. Alright, that was just a brief. Sorry, my internet keeps going in and out here. But that was just a brief heads up to see who's in the lead and everything. You know, good times. Let's see what's going on with some of the other candidates. Why don't we? You don't hear much about just Rand Paul. I mean, there's a couple topics saying he has raised $2.5 million from supporters. His campaign's all too familiar, which is pretty much because it's kind of like his dad, who was former Congressman Ron Paul, who's running on pretty much the same libertarian base and everything. Ted Cruz sends sights on Rand Paul's libertarian base. Okay. Dude, I wish I would have pen on pull it. Yeah, you can tell I'm just pulling things right now because I had a bunch of time to prepare and I have a lot of stuff to do today, so I figured I'd take a little bit of time and give you guys a head up of what's going on with me as well as politics and everything. Oh, here's an article that looks interesting. It's from Politico magazine. Apparently, yes, CIA director was part of the JFK assassination cover-up. And as y'all know, there's all these people saying the JFK assassination was like a cover-up, that there was a magic bullet, it was a conspiracy theory, the CIA covered it up and all that. I'm not going to say if that's true or not, because before I say anything and what I think, I want to investigate more, even though I've been trying to investigate and look at this stuff for a long time, since I was, 12 years old is when I started getting interested in politics and conspiracies and stuff, which are very entertaining to watch, as well as every weekend I would go on watch TV and the ancient aliens, or what are they like? Secrets of Freemasonry or America's Books of Secrets. Good things. I enjoy that stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't, but I do. I think it's entertaining, and it gives you some historical evidence, which is true about founding fathers, stuff like that. Freemasonry, which we only know a little bit about, because people who are in it would are sworn to protect it to the death and stuff about it. That's enough. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, let's get back to this CIA. The CIA director was part of the JFK assassination cover-up. Let's see. His name was John McCone. Here, I'll read the article. John McCone came to the CIA as an outsider, industrialist, and an engineer by training. He replaced the veteran spy master Allen Dulles as director of the CIA in November of '61. After JFK had forced out Dulles following the CIA's bungled operation to oust Fidel Castro by invading Cuba's Bay of Pigs. Sorry, can't talk. Give me a second. Alright. McCone had one overriding mission, and that was to restore order at the besieged CIA Kennedy at the besieged CIA. Okay. And then Kennedy hoped his management skills might prevent a future debacle, even if the Californian, mostly stranger to the clubby blue-blooded world of the men like Dulles, who had always run the spy agency, faced a steep learning curve. Alright. Let's see here. After JFK's assassination in Dallas in November of 1963, President Lyndon Johnson kept McCone in place at the CIA. The CIA director became an important witness before the Warren Commission. The panel Johnson created to investigate Kennedy's murder, in case y'all didn't know that. McCone pledged full cooperation with the commission, which was led by Chief Justice O. Warren, testified that the CIA had no evidence to suggest that Lee Harvey Oswald, the guy who supposedly killed Kennedy, the assassin, was part of any conspiracy, foreign or domestic. In its final report, the commission came to agree with McCone's depiction of Oswald, a former Marine, self-proclaimed Marxist, as a delusional lone wolf. But did McCone come close to perjury all those decades ago? Perjury, which you should know is pretty much lying under oath and stuff like that. Did the one-time Washington outsider in fact hide agency secrets that might still rewrite the history of the assassination? Even the CIA is now willing to raise these questions. Half a century after JFK's death, in a one secret report written in 2013 by the CIA's top in-house historian, quietly declassified last fall, spy agency acknowledges what others were convinced of long ago, that McCone and other senior CIA officials were complicit in keeping incendiary information from the Warren Commission. And it says, according to the report by CIA historian David Robarge, McCone died in 1991, was at the heart of a cover-up at the spy agency, intended to keep the commission focused on what the agency believed at the time was the best truth, that Lee Harvey Oswald has acted alone in killing John Kennedy. Okay. And it goes on to say that in 1964 investigation, there was a report found with the existence for years of the CIA plot to assassinate Castro, some of which put the CIA in cahoots with Mafia. Okay, whatever. That sounds interesting. I think it does. And the commission never questioned whether Oswald had accomplices, Cuba or elsewhere, who wanted Kennedy dead in retaliation for the Castro plots. Goes on to say that the CIA is questioning it, and they'll pretty much questioning what the investigation was and if the John McCone guy was hiding evidence and all that. I mean, the article goes on and on for another couple pages or so. Seems pretty nice though. Excuse me. It goes on to ask if Castro killed the president because the president had tried to kill Castro. So they'll try and say if CIA was in cahoots with mafia in Cuba, they had Leon Roswell had people in Cuba and all that who were planning to do this for a while now. Apparently, that's what it sounds like. All right. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break. This is ShowDown Radio Show. Yeah, we'll be right back. And welcome back to ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. Give me 1 second and listen to more of this The Hunted by Mayan Devil. And I'll be with you in just a second.
Watch it turn to ash, take all that you own. As you fade to black, does it hit you that you ain't coming back now? With hell and fury inside, they hunt you down through the night. Your darkest fear by their side. Oh, they'll strike when the time is right.
Alright, we're back. This ShowDown Radio Show is Zachary Lee. I know we just went over a couple things and figure we're going to some military news right now. There's an article published on October 10th this year, of course, that talks about, I don't know if many of you remember about Sergeant Bo Bogdell. Well, in case you forgot, this is a little history on him. He was captured by the Taliban after leaving his post on June 30th of 2009 and held until last year when he was exchanged for 5 Taliban commandos. His commanding officer in Afghanistan says a 45-day search for Borgdale put soldiers in danger. Put soldiers in danger, of course. I mean, the guy left his post. And in the military, we have these 11 general orders of the century. And one of the general orders is quit my post only when properly relieved. And then there's also another one that goes, take charge of this post and all government property within view, etc. Well, this guy pretty much decided to say, screw that, but it is what it is, and apparently he's going to learn his lesson, I hope. But anyway, it goes on to say, he was charged with, in March, with distortion and misbehavior before the enemy, and this is a charge that could carry a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. So, I mean, the guy, he should actually be put to death, because back in older days, you know, you committed treason or something, or desertion, you were shot. You were tried, and then you were shot for a desertion squad who would be a bunch of people with guns, and they would shoot you. Back then. Nowadays, it's either maximum life imprisonment or discharge on a bad conduct or dishonorable discharge or some stuff like that. But anyway, the article continues on to say that there's a defense attorney, Eugene Fidel, said Lieutenant Colonel Mark Visco had recommended that Sergeant Borgendale's case be referred to a special court martial, which is misdemeanor level form. Limits maximum punishment to reduction in rank, bad conduct discharge, and term of up to a year in prison. Why? The guy he was charged with desertion misbehavior, which most likely is probably true, and whatever. But anyway, you're gonna try and get him to reduction in rank, bad conduct discharge, and a term of up to a year in prison? No. Why would you do that? Seriously? If I could do it, I would be dishonorable discharge, reduction in rank, sent to like full 11th ward or some stuff for pretty much life. Or maybe I'll be a little lenient, maybe for like 10 to 20 years, something like that. But I can't do that. I don't tell the military, big Navy, Army, whatever, what to do. So, alright, cool. And the defense attorney, Eugene Fidel, continues on to say that also said that Visco recommended that there be no prison time or punitive discharge against Borgdale. In light of Lieutenant Colonel Mark Visco's recommendations, the defense is asking that the case be disposed of non-judicially rather than by court-martial. Why? I would court-martial this guy's butt, man. Put him in front of the court-martial, excuse me, and read all the charges against him, and hopefully find him guilty and have enough evidence to prove that fact. I mean, I know you're innocent until proven guilty, but I think there's enough evidence. Well, what do I know? Again, what do I know? Anyway, it goes on to say that General Robert Abrams, the commanding general of U.S. Army Forces Command, will ultimately decide whether the case should be referred to a court-martial. No timeline has been given for that. And Fidel is saying he hopes that General Abrams does the right thing, but it's his call. It goes on to say that Obama administration's prisoner swap was sharply criticized by many Republicans and also some of the Democrats, who said it was politically motivated and counter to the U.S. policy against negotiation with terrorists, of course. According to Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump, he said on Thursday that Sergeant Borgdale should have been executed for leaving his post in Afghanistan, calling him no good traitor. He also said that in August. Of course. That's what I think. I'm not saying I agree with Donald Trump and everything 100%, but technically the guy should have been executed for leaving his post. That's called desertion there, people, in case you didn't know that. But whatever. Continuing on. Paul Boyce, a spokesman for the U.S. Army Forces Command, released a statement Saturday that didn't conform to Vizco's decision. He goes on to say, as legal action is ongoing, we continue to maintain careful respect for the military judicial process. The rights of the accused and ensuring the case's fairness and partiality, Boyce said. There was a retired Navy judge advocate who now works in Virginia in a private practice named Philip Cave, saying commanders should follow officers' recommendation. Let's see here. It goes on to say a little more, and then it goes that Mark Vizzo's report should be made public so the American people can be fully informed of your findings. You know, that would be nice. I mean, we could read it and see what they have going on and what he's charged with and all that. That would be nice, but yeah, that's not going to happen. And at the end of the article, he says that after the Borgville's defense team plan to file a written appeal next week, seeking to have the full report released, it said it's a self-inflicted wound to the Army. Okay, whatever. I would like to see what happens to this, and I'll keep you all informed about what's going to happen with this. I have a few days before I have to go back and go on another little I don't know what to call it, but I have a little more time to do like 1 or 2 more shows, and I have to leave again because of my work because of what I do in the Navy. You know, be on a ship, good times. Okay. But yeah, I'll keep you informed on that, and we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Sorry about that. My voice is kind of hoarse, as I said, from being at Busch Gardens the other day, having the time of my life. Never really been on those roller coasters where you go loop around, upside down, toss and turn. It was really fun. I'm scared a little bit, I'll admit it, but it was fun. So plan on going again sometime. Anyway, we're gonna take another break here very soon. When we come back from break, we're gonna be talking about the race for the Speaker of the House, and a lot of people are trying to get Republican Paul Ryan, who's a part of the House of Representatives, to be the next Speaker of the House. They're saying he has votes, but does he? We'll cover this and a lot more when we come back. Again, this has been ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. We'll be right back. And hey guys, welcome back to ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. I'm glad you could join us. I know I haven't been talking about a lot. I mean, I have been jumping. I'm trying to stay kind of within U.S. politics and military news right now. As I said before we took on break, when we come back, we're gonna be talking about Representative of Paul Ryan and how he's been considered for the next Speaker of the House. So there's an article here on, of course, from Fox News. I found when I was looking this up, and the article's name is "Powerful Conservative Republican Caucus Open to Ryan as the Next Speaker of the House." All right. The article goes on to state is the leader of the House Republicans' most powerful conservative caucus said Sunday that his group would consider Representative Paul Ryan as the chamber's next speaker. Paul Ryan is a good man, according to Representative Jim Jordan, who's a Republican from Ohio and chairman of the House Freedom Caucus. He told that to Fox News on Sunday. This was just published recently, so it's pretty recent. And he goes on to say if Paul Ryan gets in the race, certainly our group would look favorably on him. So they're saying if Paul Ryan decides to run for Speaker of the House because John Boehner stepped down, he would be influential and the House Freedom Caucus will look favorably on him. So let's continue on and see what the article says here. The caucus, which was influential in ousting House Speaker John Boehner last month, has officially endorsed Florida Republican Daniel Webster, one of the caucus roughly 40 members on it. Goes on to say that Jordan said the group would consider Ryan, who's a Republican from Wisconsin, from my hometown, not my hometown, but my home state, who, as a veteran House Committee chairman and 2012 GOP vice presidential candidate, is now widely considered Republicans' best choice to unite the fractured caucus and become the next speaker. From what I read on Paul Ryan, he seems like a pretty upstanding guy. So maybe if he does get elected, it will kind of help better bills be passed for the good of our nation, liberty, freedom, and posterity and all that. We'll hope, but you know how we can't always get what we want. We can try, but a lot of times we don't get what United States of America wants. So continuing on, goes that Paul Ryan, who's now the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, has so far declined to accept invitations even from Boehner, who is a Republican from Ohio, and 2012 presidential nominee Mitt Romney. However, he appears to be considering his options while Congress is in recess this week. Jim Jordan on Sunday said that Ryan, or whoever becomes the next speaker, can no longer run the chamber from an authoritative top-down style. No more business as usual, said Jordan, whose group wants to see more bills from rank-and-file members get full floor votes and House leaders awarded committee chairmanships to a wider range of members. Pointing out that in 2012, Boehner removed conservative Tim Huelskamp of Kansas from assignment on the Budget and Agriculture Committee after Huelskamp voted against the budget proposed by Ryan, who was then the Budget Committee chairman. No more business as usual, Jordan said. This kind of stuff has to stop. This place has got to change. They've been saying that stuff for a while, and nothing's really changed except for a few good people come in, a few good people leave, But it's always good to try and you know, do good. I mean, you can't always do it, but whatever. Alright, so Jordan also submits criticism that his group refuses to compromise on a new leader, despite having only about 40 of the 218 votes needed to appoint a House Speaker. The GOP House Conference postponed its internal speakership vote last week after the presumptive favorite, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, quit the race abruptly and amid speculation he didn't have the support of all votes. However, the full chamber vote is still scheduled for October 29th, and Jordan goes on to say at the end of the article, of course, we are willing to compromise. So, Paul Ryan, next House Speaker, what would you guys think about that? I, for one, think it might be a step in the right direction. It's not because he's from my home state of Wisconsin. Just because from what I heard of him, he seems like an upstanding, pretty good guy. Give me 1 second here and like, let's see, one of his views on gun control is he goes he voted yes on prohibiting product misuse lawsuits on gun manufacturers in October 2005. Voted yes on prohibiting suing gun makers and sellers for gun misuse 2003, which is understandable. I mean, it technically shouldn't be their fault if somebody decides to go do whatever. National Cross State Standard for Concealed Carry in 2009. In July of 2011, he wanted to allow veterans to register unlicensed guns acquired abroad. And okay, so there's a couple things on the gun control. So yeah, pretty much from what I can tell, he's pretty much pro-gun. Well, I was reading this one. Now, Paul Ryan on government reform is he voted yes on requiring photo ID for voting in federal elections, which would make sense. You don't want people like Mickey Mouse, Daffy Duck, Scooby-Doo voting in elections, do you? Or just, you don't want a bunch of people who are not from our country going to the voting booths and voting because they were able to because they have to show an ID or for somehow they went through the system. Yeah. I actually would agree if there was a where you have to show your ID to vote. That's what I would do. But what do I know? I'm just a 21-year-old young man. I may not know a lot of stuff, but I know something. So it's like, yeah. But he also said, Paul Ryan said government should not try and solve every social problem in 2011 or February 2011, which is true. I mean, government shouldn't always be around trying to tell us what to do with and which how to socialize and all that. And in 2009, June 2009, he required all laws to cite constitutional authorization, so he voted for something like that. So, also in 2011, he goes, "We don't belong to the government. People are sovereign." Okay, that's true. I mean, you can go to ontheissues.org. Pretty much, it goes every political leader on every issue. You can type in your the person you're interested in, like Rand Paul, Paul Ryan, President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, whoever you want to type in, political leaders, type in, you can see, and it's going to show up where there's several different links where it goes on international issues, domestic issues, economic issues, and social issues, and below them there's these links like foreign policy, how they voted on that, what they said about that, war and peace, free and trade, immigration, energy and oil, domestic issues like gun control, crime, drugs, healthcare, technology, environment. Economic issues is budget and economy, government reform, tax reform, social security, corporation jobs. Social issues is education, civil rights, abortion, families and children, welfare and poverty, principle and values. So you can look up, pretty much as I said, look up anyone you want into in some office, and you can find out about them. Excuse me. And see what they voted yes for, what they voted against, what they some of their quotes, stuff like that. He was a former vice president candidate in 2012 election, the GOP, but it's like whatever. I mean, it's not whatever. It's like cool. Now, we're gonna go to another break here in another minute. And we're going to be coming back talking about Democratic presidential candidates and who's running, who's in the lead on the Democratic side. Excuse me, good time. Excuse me. We'll be right back. Again, you're listening to ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee, and we'll see you right after the break.
No one knows that makes you feel so whole. It makes you feel so whole. Be soft because your wisdom will help you to escape from who wants to close your mouth, who wants to close your mouth.
Hey guys, we'll be right back to the program, this ShowDown Radio Show, and we'll be right back.
It's amazing the ways you got me blazing these trails, the ways you taking me through when I was afraid of myself, to show me what I ain't seen and tell me what I ain't heard. You put your hooks inside of me, so honestly I can't work, cause I don't hide no more, and now I know that I can be the man that I planned. Since you found who I am and fell in love with me, the part of my life that I was once missing, and now I see you clearly, fearfully you wonderfully. No true or two-time, it's like an empty hourglass, pissing against the grain, the twisted sigma systems, coward ass. Whatever they deem is normal, come from, we'll just go around hand in hand, and if I get too crazy, baby, hold me down, hold me close, hold me tight, and don't let go of me, because I love to build the
Hey guys, welcome back to ShowDown Radio Show with Zachary Lee. I'm Zachary Lee, and we went over a few things. Before this break, we went over Paul Ryan and his people trying to convince him to run for Speaker of the House and different issues he stands on, and we'll see what happens with that. I said when we would get back, we would go over some of the Democratic candidates and where they stand in the polls. And on CBS News, there's excuse me. All that says Hillary Clinton is still in the lead for the Democratic race. So Hillary Clinton is still leading in the debate in the polls, and they're still wondering if Biden's going to run. I mean, I think it's kind of too late, but I mean, anyone could pretty much go in it right now and run if they wanted to. I mean, Hillary Clinton still has that big email scandal going on, which, I mean, you don't hear much about because really there's nothing going on. I mean, there's stuff going on, but it's kind of old news, but it's not, if you get what I'm saying. But we'll just go over a couple things. Here's an article on Hillary Clinton who proposed, and it goes, Hillary Clinton to propose new stricter gun control measures. CBS News wrote this article on the website. Goes from Boston. In the wake of a fatal shooting at a community college in Oregon, which you all heard about, which I don't know what's wrong with people. I've said this before, but people are sick in the head, and they just start shooting and killing people for no reason, apparently. Else it's for revenge, but it's still, they're sick in the head. There's no point to start killing people for no reason, especially at colleges and schools and places like that. And then you know how they're going to have people saying it's the gun's fault. No, it's not the gun's fault. It's the person who's behind the gun who sick in the head who is killing those people. The gun doesn't have a brain. The gun does not decide. A gun does not decide who to shoot. The person behind the gun, on taking control of the gun, tells the gun where to shoot and pulls the trigger. Okay, I don't know why that's so hard for people to comprehend, but get that through your brain, America, okay? Get that through your brain. Guns don't have brains. People behind the guns who shoot them have the brains. They're most likely sick in the head or crazy or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird. It's stupid. It's sickening. just killing people for fun or for whatever. Guns don't have brains. Get that through your head. Alright. So back to the article. Hillary Clinton plans to propose full measures to tighten regulations on those who manufacture, sell, and purchase guns. Clinton, who supports universal background checks and a ban on military-style assault weapons. Hey, I'm all for background checks on people who are trying to buy guns. Make sure they don't have felonies or they're not any issues that could affect them later on and make them to kill people. All right, let's start shooting people. A ban on military-style assault weapons, which will outline her new proposal in 2 town halls on Monday in New Hampshire, according to a campaign aide. 3 or 4 of Clinton's proposals target loopholes in current federal laws that apply to those who want to buy guns. Politics, mass shootings, and gun control. Excuse me, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I had to get some water. But anyway, Clinton will call on Congress to require any person engaging in high volume of gun sales, in particular at gun shows and on the internet, to be held at the same standards as sellers at gun stores, including those venues as in the business of selling firearms under federal regulation would require sellers at gun shows and online to conduct background checks on potential buyers. On this measure, according to the aide, Clinton will promise to take administrative action as president to change the law if Congress refuses that. The article continues on saying what her different proposals are, such as and how her final proposal is directed towards gun manufacturers and more so to the NRA, or the National Rifle Association. Apparently she doesn't like those guys because they support guns. Wow. But she was at a campaign event in Florida and spoke out forcefully against the NRA and rallied her supporters to rise up in a national movement against the power of the gun lobby. It is time to act, Clinton said, but Republicans keep refusing to do anything to protect our communities. They put the NRA ahead of American families. It is wrong, and we need to make every politician who signs with them to look into the eyes of parents whose children have been murdered and explain why they listen to the gun lobby, she said. Wow, she's trying to put people on a guilt trip. Holy smokes. I hate it when people try and put people on a guilt trip. I said this, not even 10 minutes ago. Guns don't have brains. Guns don't kill people. It's people behind the guns that shoot the guns that kill people. If you can understand what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, guns can kill people, but there has to be someone behind or in charge or whatever who's able to pull the trigger and shoot a bunch of people. The gun doesn't. You don't leave a gun lying around. Hey, I read this story the other day about a guy. He had a shotgun and he loaded up with some shotgun shells, right? He put it in a wheelchair on the porch and just left it there. During that day, there was like 6 people who went by. A mailman, a schoolboy, a couple other people, and some other people. And you know how they're saying guns kill people, so he checked it the next day and there was still 2 shells in it and nobody was dead. Everyone was all alive and well. So there's one story that's saying guns don't have brains. They can't kill people. They have to have someone physically, unless it's a gun controlled by computer technology like on drones and stuff. But there's someone always behind the trigger or the firing of a weapon, okay? Okay? Guns do not have brains. Let's get that through your head. Hillary Clinton here is saying that, trying to put everyone on a guilt trip, saying all those people who had their loved ones, friends, and relatives killed in gun-related shootings will be like, she's putting them on a guilt trip. Well, yeah, I'm sorry that happened. As I said, people are sick in the head and they do that stuff. There's no reason to put guilt trips on people, make them look in the eyes of these parents and relatives of lost ones, and tell them why they voted for it. See, along with having gun control, right? Which, I mean, I'm not for gun control, but as I support a background check on everyone. Whoever tries to buy a gun, yeah, should do a background check on them, okay? Check to see if they have any felonies, any time in prison or some stuff, or any cases against them will make them want to go out and just start killing people, okay? Guns don't kill people, okay? I said this I don't know how many times. Several times already. It's the person in charge of firing or pulling the trigger of a gun who's sick in the head or just because they don't care that kill people, okay? Okay? Guns don't have brains. Get that through your head. But anyway, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. See, if I was some politician or whatever, and I voted for pro-gun, so right to bear arms and stuff, yeah, I would do it. But in a bill, I would like try and introduce a bill like I'm saying I support letting people have weapons, but I would like a universal background check on everyone who tries to buy it. For, as I said, for any crimes or felonies or anything that happened in the past, I would say 10 years. Maybe more, but let's just say 5 to 10 years. If I could, I would do 10 years. And I would limit it to, if you had a felony or a case or some time in prison against you within the last 10 years, I would be like, no, you're not clear to have a weapon of any sort. Mostly a gun. I mean, I know they're probably going to have some other weapon, but whatever. Basically talking about gun control right here, but if you, let's say, upstanding citizen with no felonies or crimes or anything under your belt, say you're like, what, 25 years old, and you have a clean record all the way through. Maybe you have 1 or 2 speeding tickets. It happens. A lot of people, pretty much everyone gets those. But I'll be like, all right, your record looks clean. I would check your mental record. See if for any reason you might have a medical issue or mental issues that might affect you later on. And if you did, I would be like, hesitant to have you buy one. Most likely, I would be like, I can't sell you a gun, let you buy one because I'm not sure if you're all right in the head. I wouldn't want to call people crazy, but I would rather people think I'm calling them not mentally sound than to let someone buy a gun and start shooting people. I don't know if that made sense or not, but kind of I'm pro gun. I support the citizens' right to bear arms. I really do. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. As I said numerous times, I don't care. People don't like me, I don't like them. If they have an issue with that, they can just talk to me. I'm not gonna freak out and say, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I support and why I support it. You may not like what I say, but what, you think I'm gonna get a gun and then start shooting? No. Why would I do that? I mean, I was raised in a religious home, so my parents read the Bible. I read the Bible too, and you know how in the Ten Commandments is, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill. All right, I'm not gonna go killing people at all, unless, bear with me, it's in self-defense. If some guy is trying to break into my home and rape my family or harm my family in any way, and I had a rifle, shotgun, pistol, or whatever kind of weapon, yeah, I would warn the guy to leave my family alone. If not, I'll just be like, bang. Wound him or kill him. Yeah, that's protecting my family, friends, and loved ones. That's not because, there's some guy on the street. Bang, 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 bang. Why would people do? Oh, look, there's some more people at a college or school. I'm like, what? I got a gun right here. Really? Really? See the difference there, people? Can you see the difference? I mean, I know I've talked about gun control on pretty much every episode in the last 3 or 4 episodes I've done. But I get sick and tired of people saying it's always the gun. Oh, it's the gun's fault and not the Polson's fault. Because Polson was insane, man. Dude, I said it 20 times almost. If not, I haven't. I probably did say it about 20 times. Guns do not have brain. Guns are a mechanical device. Okay? Now, mechanical devices can and will fail, and guns can kind of discharge. But sometimes it happens, and that would suck. But who in their right mind would be at a college or school or public place or at a naval base or military base or at a recruiting station where people are trying to get in the military and have a gun out and just start shooting people? Who would do that? People who are sick in the head, who either don't like this nation, don't like people, don't like military. I don't know. But that is messed up, okay? It is messed up. As I said, there's a difference. There's self-defense, and then there's just going out and killing people. Self-defense, friends, family, loved ones. Someone tries to harm me, myself, loved ones, family, friends, or someone on the street, and I'm the only one that has like a pistol, rifle, or a gun or something, yeah, I'll warn the guy. Leave him alone. If not, if the guy comes at me and I can't take him down, I'll be like, okay, I pull out my gun and go, sir, or whoever it is, leave us alone or I'll shoot. You know how cops are supposed to warn people before they throw them guns. They will say, stop or we'll shoot, or I'm warning you, I'm going to shoot. And then you rush them and they shoot them? Okay, yeah. If that happens to me, the guy has like this look on his face and he's like waving another gun or something and I can shoot first, I'm going to shoot him, okay? That's in self-defense. That is not because, oh, look, there's a guy running towards me and he has this look on his face and I'm like, I don't know what he's going to do. I can't tell if that's good. If I don't have a weapon on me, I'm going to either try and fight the guy or I'll just take off running. But if there's a guy just running along the street, you know, like jogging along, minding his own business, and he stops to say, hi, so, hi, ma'am, how are you doing? You have a great day. Enjoy your run. Yeah. I'm not going to go, oh, there's some guy. Oh, he's running towards me. Oh, I feel threatened. Bang. No. No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It is stupidity. And here I am banging the floor because I'm getting the table because I'm getting a little passionate about this. I don't care what you think about gun control or right to bear arms, but I'm trying to make this as clear as I can so you guys will understand this. I hope I haven't confused you. If I did, I'm sorry. Message me later and we'll talk about it. In fact, if you want, you can send me an email. I'll give you my email address. It's Zach, Z-A-C-H, Erickson, ERICKSEN @ymail.com. You have something to say to me? Just send me an email. We'll talk about it. If not, just comment in here. And also, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube in after the show is ended. So if you want to comment on YouTube, go ahead. And I will answer you as soon as I have the time and if I have any free time. Okay? I am not gonna, if you tell me, I mean, I've had people come on YouTube and say not so great things about stuff. I've had someone on this on Speako I listened to it and he telling me this stuff, which I understand, and he telling me I should look into my facts. True, but if you want, this is what I'll ask you to do. You do send me a message somehow. I would ask you to, if you can refrain from using any language and stuff, go ahead. If you tell me you want to go kill myself, you can go ahead. I'm gonna go say, if I have the free time, I'm gonna answer back and say, so ma'am, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I really don't appreciate you telling me to go kill myself because that's just wrong, and it's my belief, and as far as I know, I still have freedom of speech here in the United States. I don't know for how much longer, But it is. It is what it is. So, my freedom of speech, my right to bear arms, whatever your opinion is on it, that is fine. As long as I can, I'm going to do freedom of speech and everything, alright? And then once they take it away, I'll find ways around this to continue broadcasting out to you guys, okay? Whether it's in messages or something. Excuse me, I had to get some more. But anyway, I guess I should end the show here. You guys know where I stand, and I have I have a lot of stuff to do because I have work tomorrow. So this has been Sunday, October 11th, 2015. This has been ShowDown Radio Show, episode 6, with yours truly, Zachary Lee. I thank you for joining us, and message me after, send me a message, like this, listen to this, do whatever you want with it. Enjoy the program. You guys have a great day. Oh, not only don't you have a great day, you have a great American rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend off. Because most of you don't have work tomorrow. I do, but you gotta love being in the military sometimes. Alright, thanks again. This has been ShowDown Radio Show. I'm signing off.